Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about this knife right here. Huh, kind of made it blurry. Anyhow, um, that is an M3 uh, trench knife or fighting knife. They were called both of those things, developed during World War II. And we're going to be talking about that. This one is a reproduction, but a pretty good one. And we'll talk about that too. And where you might be able to find one of these. And maybe about the collectability about it and what to look for on eBay and those kind of things. So if you'd like to hear all about the history of this fixed blade knife, because it's Fixed Blade Friday, go ahead and check out the video. All right, welcome back to the Fortified Castle. Hi to all my viewers. Bonjour, privet, guten tag, hola, ciao, konnichiwa, and good day, mate, to my foreign viewers. And we're going to be talking about this knife. I wanted to show you this. I got it in the mail a couple days ago. Case Cutlery Dynasty, Tested XX. Written by Brad Lockwood. So unfortunately, this book comes to me about 4 weeks late. So I've been doing a history on case knives, but I still have the last part of that history. That's going to be the modern history of case knives. You should look for that. I hope you do. It'll run from 1972 up to the present. And there were some little interesting things in this book I didn't know about before, so maybe we can include those in the video. I also have another case book, one of the most recent ones written, coming. So we'll look for that too. And let's talk about this knife. Okay, I had to give me a little more room there. This is a big knife. It's a fighting knife. And so overall, it's 11. I got to check my notes. 11 and 5/8 inches. And the blade length is 6 and 11/16 inches. It is a typical dagger style blade. You see that straight V cut on it right there. This is a sharpened edge on it, and it was sharpened. They were sharpened. And you have about 3/4 of an inch here. It's fairly thin for a fighting knife. Pretty big handle grip. You know, it had to be because there are a lot of different hand sizes in the military. The handle is 4 and let me just measure it again. I forgot. Yeah, I was thinking 4 3/4, but it's 4 5/8 for a handle size on that. You can see my hands are a large and medium, so I can fit into large gloves, and it's hard for me to fit in a medium glove. And you know, it fits comfortably in my hand. And let's talk a little bit about, let's see. Okay. On this handle, you have a leather stacked, and that was normal. So military specifications called for 8 rings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is a perfect reproduction of the knife. On the original ones, they had a brown collar here, plastic collar, and a black one towards the pommel. The pommel, sometimes you'll see that they're pinned or peened, and there's a picture up there showing you that now. Sometimes they were pinned. So it just all depended. There were 8 different manufacturers of this knife. The knives were typically marked on the what we would consider to be the pile side, the right side of the blade. Would have been this side, and typically they were marked right here. I'm showing you some pictures of that right now, of the different markings, but you usually had M3, the company name, and on some of them there was a date. Some of them they weren't. Again, there were 8 different manufacturers of this knife. And so let me see if I can give you that right now. Oh, okay. So Ariel, Boker, Camillus, Case, Imperial, Kinfolks, Cutmaster, Powell, and Robertson made these knives. With the most common are going to be Imperial, Camillus, Powell, and I can't think of the fourth one. I think it's Kinfolks. May be wrong about that, but I'm sure Jesse McJames would know all about that because he's all about these things. He loves fighting knives, World War II knives. If you never checked his channel out, you ought to. Really interesting. So these knives were developed as a replacement for the World War I trench knife. Those are those knives that had the brass knuckles on them. And initially, when the war broke out, we were unprepared for it. They issued those trench knives, and these knives actually didn't come around till 1943. They had a very short life, so they were replaced in 1944, and what they were replaced by is the M4 bayonet. So that bayonet went on the M1 rifle that did not have a bayonet for it. The M1 rifle was meant for troops in the rear. They figured they didn't need bayonets, but as it turned out, yeah, they probably could have used bayonets. And so theoretically, they were supposed to be issued this knife for non-combative troops, basically. And what really happened is the paratroopers loved these, and so the paratroopers and rangers, the fighting troops, ended up getting these knives first, and the guys in the rear ended up getting the K-bars. And so there were a lot of these made in a very short amount of time. So within a couple years time span, a little over 2.5 million of these were made. So let's see, what do we talk about? This is bent, and that's the way it was supposed to be. They were factory made with this bend in it. Some on original knives, some of the things that you'll find is manufacturers didn't always follow the specifications. So you can find some of these factory made, genuine World War II M3 knives that have 5 rings, 6 rings, 7 rings, and on some they even had no rings at all. And on some you'll find that these guards were not bent on them, so they're not necessarily a forgery. They just more time you get all kinds of things. Sometimes companies just kind of did their own thing. This is a fantastic spear point blade, though, and one of the few that were actually sharpened. So this is sharpened on the clip, and it was sharpened down here. Very popular with the fighting men, but relatively short-lived. So what this was replaced with in 1944 was the M4 bayonet. And so there's a picture up there right now on that M4 bayonet. They look suspiciously alike, and that's because the M4 bayonet was the M3 with the eye loop here to go over the barrel and attaching hardware here to go onto a lug. And that bayonet ran all the way up into the 60s. And so, through the Korean War, into the Vietnam War, the French used these knives in Algeria, in Vietnam, and other places. So that a lot of them ended up with the French, by the way. So I'm showing you a picture now of the original sheath. It was a leather sheath that was heavily riveted. It had lanyards to tie it on, and paratroopers like to tie that onto their boot. That sheath turned out to be pretty flimsy and was replaced pretty quickly with the M8, I think A1, M8A1 sheath. This is a replica. The original one had a fiber, looked like this, a green fiber, which was basically a fiberglass sheath, metal here, and this was a connector for a canvas strap. And you're seeing a picture of that also right now. I'll show you that too. And so, as far as looks, this is authentic, but it's really not, the same materials that were used in World War II and after into the Korean War where these were used. So this fits down in here fine, and this is a sheath that was used on the M4 bayonet that replaced this M3. And so this is just a really inexpensive Chinese knockoff. I don't remember where I got it. I may have got it from a retail outlet, or I may have got it on Amazon. I don't remember. I had been looking to get a genuine M4. I wasn't really happy with the quality and the prices that I was seeing. These things are pretty expensive. So in just fair condition, for a genuine one, you'll pay $200 and up. And then the excellent condition ones were way out there. And so I just wanted an example of an M3. And so I went ahead and got this until I pick up an original one. Eventually I hope to find an original one. Boker, and I also believe K-Bar makes one, a replica of the M3 that are higher quality than this one right here. But there's really nothing wrong with this. I don't see why you couldn't use this. It's just carbon steel, good carbon steel. It's sharp. And, well, this says stainless, so it's probably 8CR13. That's probably what that is. It's solid. Solid. So, if you want to pay more money and get a Boker or something like that, I don't see anything wrong with that. But then you can pick those off of Amazon for, in the $30, $40 range. All right, thanks for watching the video. As usual, I really appreciate you all and supporting the channel with your likes, your comments. Enjoy your comments, and we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks again.